I'm Paul Rutland and this is Buckingham News. An official audit has been released to the people of Buckingham regarding the safety of the infamous roundabout on London Road. The 9-page document outlines the problems found by the audit, the response by the developers, and the subsequent response from Buckinghamshire County Council. Caspian Chalice has the story.
This 9-page document was released by Buckingham Councillor John Harvey on the Buckingham What Matters to You Facebook page. He claims that the developers didn't want anyone to get hold of the audit.
The document outlines the dangers of the roundabout that we've seen over the last year, most of which points to a vehicle-on-vehicle collision.
However, the audit left a lot of Facebook users angry, with one commenting, "I'm not convinced Bucks County Council will ever take their share of the blame. It seemed like a cop-out response from them as usual." And another stating, "I would hope before Christmas, but don't hold your breath."
The consensus is that it's unsafe and it needs to be changed now. And that's been the consensus for the last few months, and we're still waiting for the powers that be, whoever they finally are, to actually make the changes that are required. Our overarching concern is always the well-being of people who live in Buckingham and indeed pay their council tax. That's our main object.
It is clear that the BDP and Bucks County Council are at fault for this lack of attention and possible negligence. The full document is available on the Facebook page, and we encourage you all to read it. This is Caspian Chalice, Buckingham News.
A rally in honour of Black Lives Matter was held last Friday at the Radcliffe Centre. Black Lives Matter is a movement which was started in 2012 to raise awareness about police brutality. We sent Toby Abadje to investigate.
The movement was created in 2012 after George Zimmerman was acquitted for his role in the death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. And whilst no black people in Buckingham have been killed as a result of police brutality, an event is being held here at the Radcliffe Centre in solidarity of the movement. Black Lives Matter is now expanding to include not only state violence, but all of the ways in which black people are discriminated against and deprived of human rights and dignity.
The purpose for this event was to have an open dialogue and discussion about why Black Lives Matter and still matter. It's an opportunity for different black students to speak on human rights issues that they're facing in their own communities.
However, turnout for the event was relatively low, showing that perhaps the Black Lives Matter movement has run its course and that young people may have moved on. The event took the form of a debate chaired by the Caribbean Gaming and Nigerian Society with questions open to the floor. The debate covered the issues currently facing young black people. This is Toby Abadje for Buckingham News.
The Buckinghamshire Thames Valley Local Enterprise Partnership has expressed its support for the proposed extension to Heathrow Airport. The bill is currently under consideration by the government, and Buckingham's local businesses are claiming that the addition to Heathrow will benefit Buckingham's economy. Jason Dunn has the story.
Members of the business group Buckinghamshire Thames Valley Local Enterprise Partnership have said that the expansion of Heathrow Airport would benefit the local economy through access to new markets, reduced flight costs, and providing employment and opportunities for people around the site. Nigel Milton, Director of External Affairs at Heathrow Airport, presented to the board on September 11th that the proposed expansion, which could see the northwest runway operational from 2025, would create 10,000 apprenticeship opportunities and provide up to 40,000 local jobs. He also said that the development in airplane technology could lead to cheaper costs, reduce emission levels, and allow for more flexible flight times. Alex Pratt, chairman of Buckinghamshire Thames Valley Local Enterprise Partnership, said that the development of air capacity around London is of paramount importance to the economy of the UK, and in particular to businesses in areas such as Buckingham that benefit through close access to the main international hubs. The government has said that they would make no comment on the benefits to the economy as the project is still being carefully considered at this moment. This is Jason Dunn, Buckingham News.
Residents of Buckingham have been warned about a recent spate of spam calls in the local area.
And to receive it, they have to pay an advance administration fee ranging between £60 to £350. After making the payment, the victims are no longer able to reach the caller.
If somebody calls you up, then the surefire way to ensure that they're authentic is to hang up the phone, say you're going to phone them back, ask them to give you the number of the council. And that should be, in the case of the district council who do all the valuations on the 01296 number, hang up the phone but don't phone back straight away, because there is a technique whereby people stay on the line and you think you're dialing back the number, but actually you're not.
Maren Hockaday, Communications Officer at Action Fraud City of London Police, told Buckingham News, "These criminals make several calls and will be particularly convincing and provide good reason for why the person should make an immediate payment. We urge people to be vigilant and never respond to these callers who are simply trying to scam you."
Action Fraud has advised that councils never make cold calls and that no legitimate authority requests advance fees. If you receive such a call or fall victim to the scam, be sure to alert the necessary authorities as soon as possible. This is Noor Bahman for Buckingham News.
In the past year, more than 26,000 young people have been caught without a TV licence, with more than 130 of those being from Buckingham. We sent Lorna Kodrai to find out more.
A recent study by TV Licensing shows over half of students aged between 18 and 25 believe they are unlikely to be caught if they watch live TV on a laptop or mobile device without a TV licence. More than 130 young people have been caught in Buckingham watching live television without a TV licence. Being caught watching live TV on any device without a TV licence, you could face prosecution and a fine of up to £1,000. If you are living in halls of residence or sharing a house with other students, you need to have your own separate TV licence, even if you're just using a device to watch or record TV. Martin Dyan, TV licensing spokesman for London and the South East, said for the Buckingham Advertiser, "Every year myths circulate about when you do and don't need a licence. We want to make sure students know one is needed by law to watch or record live TV on any device, including a laptop, tablet, mobile phone or games console. We need to dispel the myth that one doesn't need a TV licence, especially students, so they can avoid this hefty fine and prosecution. And while we know students are usually strapped for cash, purchasing a colour TV licence at the start of term gives them a chance for a refund at the end of the year. We encourage students to be more informed and to look at the above website to avoid any possible penalties." This is Lorna Kodray, Buckingham News.
Last Wednesday, the Radcliffe Centre played host to the University of Buckingham Centre for Extracting Energy Studies' 4th Annual Energy Conference. Kashia Adegbite has this electrifying report.
Last week Wednesday, on offshore energy exploitation.
Now, both of those directives will require member states to undertake a system of prior investigation before allowing certain projects to go ahead. With EIA, you're dealing with a situation in which the SEA has already been done and an individual oil field is being contemplated.
Dean of Innovation at the University of Buckingham, Mr. J. Sundaram, discussed the legal and environmental consequences of oil spillage using Nigeria's Niger Delta as a case study. Dr. Edwin Edegbe of Cardiff University described the impact of piracy in the Gulf of Guinea and expanded on kidnapping of ships and how they are being used for private gain. To round off, doctoral students of the School of Law, Grace Atigwesi, explained the health and safety laws governing the extraction of crude oil. The speakers were fielded with a variety of questions which fortified the underlying concept already discussed. This is Hashia Debrita reporting for Buckingham News.
And now over to sports with Aditi Ong-Frank.
Thank you, Paul. This weekend hosted the 7th match of the season for the university football team against Great Linford Reserves. Was this another chance for the Buckingham boys to prove themselves? Ijema Wanko went to watch the game.
The match held at the university playing field started off with a number of shots from both teams in the first 30 minutes of the game. By the end of the first half of the match, Great Linford Reserves had a beautiful free kick taken by their number 10, which missed the goal. At the end of the second half, both teams were equal with scores being 0-0 after there being 11 shots on goal. The second half of the game began with the same intensity, but GLR broke the deadlock with a nice finish in the 53rd minute of the game. Not 10 minutes long after the opposing team had scored, Richard Abasuga scored with a well-placed shot to draw the game level. There were a few more shots from both teams until GLR striker was fouled in the box, which led to a penalty that was then missed in the 81st minute of the game.
It was actually a good game. We started off pretty well. We controlled the game, we passed the ball in the midfield, we included the keeper, we included all the defenders, which is really good, so it gives us control. But we didn't create enough chances in the first half. And then in the second half, when the other team got really tired, we had some chances, we put a goal in, but unluckily it was just a draw. It was a good game though.
This is Ijoma Wanko for Buckingham News.
Traditionally, polo is seen as a game that is exclusively tailored for the upper class. Last week, the university held a taster session for students who are interested in the sport. But is polo still a pastime for the bourgeoisie? Laura Hughes investigates.
Polo is a sport of Eastern origin, almost like hockey but with one key difference: it's played on horseback. Players hit the ball with a long-handled mallet and try to score goals. At the universities, students have been given an opportunity to test their mettle and try out a sport they might not otherwise have thought about.
Thomas Gordon Colebrook is president of the Polo Society. Thomas has been playing polo for 8 years and believes it is a natural addition to the sporting curriculum at Buckingham.
I think the University of Buckingham is quite, it's very cosmopolitan atmosphere, and I think that polo, sort of invites, everyone from all backgrounds to just come together and bond over, horses don't care if you're, a king or a peasant, Yes, it's expensive, but they have no preference over who plays or whatever. Anyone can form a bond with a horse. So I think that's why I want to bring the sport to the university, really.
Because of the obvious expense of owning a horse and polo equipment, the sport has always been seen as exclusive and a holdout for landed gentry.
I mean, as long as with the club at the uni, all you need to do is as long as you pay your fees, you can come to any session that we hold. You can just turn up and attend. All you need is a set of footwear with a decent heel, and we can provide hats, sticks, gloves, everything else that you need, and tuition, and you don't need to have any riding experience at all. It's very easy to get into in that respect. It's not luxurious in a lot of people see it as this really exclusive sport, but I mean people here they've blown half the student budget on it, but it's because they love it. It's not because it's a class thing or it's a snobby thing. It's just something that they really want to do.
Students at the event reacted positively to the day.
I'll certainly participate again. It was very enjoyable and something I'd recommend trying for the first time if you haven't tried before.
It seems like the success of today's event could signal the permanent accommodation of polo on the Buckingham sports calendar. This is Laura Hughes for the Buckingham News.
And now, back to the studio.
From 6th of April next year, new legislation will come into force making it illegal for you to keep a dog older than 8 weeks that hasn't been microchipped. Buckingham News sent our resident dogs body Owen Hughes to see why this new law is not to be sniffed at.
Over 10,000 stray dogs across the UK were reunited with their owners last year as a direct result of microchipping, a form of identification for man's best friend that will be compulsory from the 6th of April 2016. The microchip is a tiny implant the size of a grain of rice that goes in the back of the dog's neck, and details of the owner are logged at a central database.
As a profession, we've been in complete support of compulsory microchipping because at the end of the day it helps to reunite lost pets, it helps with responsible pet ownership.
Despite this, microchipping your dog does not mean proof of ownership, and the regulations have been changed to reflect that, causing some confusion for dog owners in England.
There shouldn't be a confusion between the actual legal ownership of the dog and who it's living with, because in quite a lot of cases, where there are rescue dogs and that sort of thing, the person that it actually lives with may not be the owner.
But with the UK charity Petlog receiving 400,000 calls a year about lost or stolen dogs, is compulsory microchipping enough? Bruce Forsyth's Vets Get Scanning appeal calls for more to be done by vets and the authorities.
You always scan them before we do the chip, and any dogs or cats that come in, we do scan them. I can't speak for all vets everywhere, but certainly at women we do support microchipping as a compulsory thing.
Under the new regulations, you could face a fine of up to £500 if you fail to microchip your dog. Certainly, pause for thought. Owen Hughes, Buckingham News.
Last Saturday marked the start of Vegan Month, a month where vegans can celebrate and spread awareness for their plant-based lifestyle. So hold up on the steak and bring on the hummus as we explore the world of veganism with one of its own, Charlie Parry.
Given that 93% of people eat meat and the dairy industry makes roughly £27 billion each year, the thought that someone could go even a day without either is alien to most. So when people find out I'm vegan, I'm usually met with a confused look and a series of questions. What is a vegan? What do you eat? So no fish, cheese, bacon? But bacon, right? But the simple horror is this. A vegan is someone who does not eat or use animal products.
Vegan Month is both a chance for awareness to be raised to alternative diets and for vegans to blow their trumpets with a little less judgment. And this month there is much to celebrate, with a recent survey in the US showing that 400 million less animals were killed as a result of people switching to a meatless diet.
Means help in protecting the environment, looking after animals and developing a sense of empathy and connection with other animals in the world.
Hopefully it would just encourage people to give it a go. I mean, I don't necessarily mean go full out vegan from being full on meat eater or whatever, but just maybe next time you go to a coffee shop, try soy milk, or next time you go to Tesco, pick out some almond milk or something instead. Just try something out.
But the decision to go vegan isn't always an ethical one. There are numerous health benefits of eating a plant-based diet, and given the recent findings of the World Health Organization that some processed and red meats directly promote cancer risk, now is a better time than any to consider an alternative diet.
Vegans are, if again with the very well thought out diet, when they're being careful about how much processed stuff and replacement stuff they eat, the less sort of lifestyle diseases, less occurrence, less incidence, autoimmune as well.
So maybe World Vegan Day will inspire you to think about the journey of the food on your plate, or maybe help you to make a dietary change. But most likely, it'll just make you want a burger. This has been Charlie Parry for Buckingham.
We're in the middle of the National British Sausage Week. How better to celebrate it than by making a Toulouse sausage with lentils? Frederica Battiato has the story.
As it is National British Sausage Week, the best way to celebrate it is by making a delicious Toulouse sausages with lentils.
You will need Toulouse sausages, lentils, carrots, 1 clove of garlic, 1 stick of celery, an onion, thinly chopped, cherry tomatoes, chicken stock, and white wine. Cook the sausages on a pan, browning them on all sides. Meanwhile, heat olive oil in a large, heavy-based saucepan. Add in the garlic, onion, celery and carrots and fry gently, stirring now and then for 5 minutes. Add in lentils, cherry tomatoes and white wine and cook for 5 minutes. Add the chicken stock and the sausages to the pan. Cover and cook for 30 minutes until the lentils are tender.
And here you have it, a special dish to celebrate this special week. This is Federica Battiato for Buckingham News.
Thanks for watching Buckingham News. We'll see you next week.